Okay, so we are starting in this lecture our next same module 5, that is module 4, that is related to DD, secretarial audit and compliance management. So here we go by the chapter by chapter. Here is a chapter 1, that is compliance framework. So in this we read about that what is the compliance program consist of. So basically compliance program consists of policies and procedures, okay, which guide in adherence of the applicable laws and regulation of the company. Now corporate compliance framework, just avoid the sound in the background. So corporate compliance framework basically deals with compliance dashboard, compliance policy and procedure, compliance audit, management, training and compliance task management. So we'll check out that what is compliance dashboard, what is compliance policies and procedures, compliance audit, compliance management, compliance training, compliance task management. First we'll read about the compliance chart. Compliance chart, basically the compliance chart, compliance advisory and compliance scorecard. And the compliance chart is a vital part basically of the framework. So in the compliance framework there is a compliance chart where we can write what all are need to do as per the requirement. So it is an important part of the framework of what framework they are talking about, compliance framework. So the company should give more focus on the preparation of the compliance chart. So means that has to be as it is a very vital part, then it has to give more focus by the company. Now reference to the key compliance law related laws. So reference to key compliance means what all are the key compliance, what all are the laws that are applicable to such company, what all are the regulations, industry standards and compliance related policies and standards of the company. Now second is that a concise statement that capture the relevant internal and external compliance obligation and the risk arising from those applications. So we also need to have a concise statement that actually capture the relevant internal and external compliances obligations, that what all are internal obligation, what all are external compliance obligation, and what are the risk associated to these obligations. So inherent and managed risk level means we have to identify that risk is critical, high, medium, low, very low, avoidable, all such. We have to check out that what is the risk level of such risk level that a company needs to manage. Now the business process or people to which compliance obligation are linked on which they have an impact. Okay, so the business process or people to which compliance obligations are basically linked or on which they have an impact. Now specific compliance risk mitigation activities and compliance risk tracking. So there has to be a specific risk mitigation activities which needs to be followed on a regular basis, and also there is a tracking that are we going into a right direction. Also monitoring for managing the compliance obligation. Also we need to monitor to manage such compliance obligation, to whom and how frequently compliance related results and findings are reported. Means who is the concerned authority or the person to whom we can go for the compliance related results and findings, that we found something and we have a result for this compliance, so whom do we report. Now clear ownership of the process, activities and obligation outlined in the chart. Clear ownership, basically they wants to say here is that like for whistleblowing we have a audit committee chairman whom we can go for to ask any suggestion or any other thing. So there has to be a demarcation of ownership process, that who is the right person to whom we can contact. Okay, now what is the role of company secretary in creation of compliance chart? So it's a very significant role a company secretary could play here. So identify of applicable laws, rules and regulation that we know very well. Now there is a risk assessment process in which a company secretary could help. Also compliance risk mitigation can be done by such company secretary, and also compliance monitoring, reporting, and critically analyzing that what are analyzing we can also analyzing is come into the assessment only. Now compliance risk updation. What does it mean? That the critical and high compliance risk focus on inherent and managed risk level. So critical and high compliance risk we have to focus on inherent and managed risk level, that what all other risk could be managed. Now key compliance risk mitigation activities. It's a lengthy chapter, no? No, it's not a lengthy chapter. Okay, chapter number 1, it's about to finish. Okay, I'll finish it in one lecture only. That the critical and high compliance risk focus on inherent managed risk level. Key compliance risk mitigation activities, that what all are the key risk mitigation activities that a company needs to do. Now the routine business transaction to which compliance obligation or risk are associated. We need to check out that what all are the routine business transaction to which a compliance obligation or risk are associated. Means if we do that thing, that there is that much amount of risk that can be indulged here. Also the implementation and embedding of framework and all policies issued by the corporate compliance department. Also compliance with the laws, rules and regulations, standards including in chart, including the compliance values and the obligation that's fine, huh? The obligation that have been delegated to the compliance functions, also complaints handling, privacy related obligations, all a company has to delegate compliance function. Who will the complaints handling, what are the privacy, what are the organization rules, approaches. There is approaches that the program design and update. What is the program design and what is the operation, policy and procedure, also communication, training and implementation also. Now compliance audit may be concerned with regularity, that adherence of subject matter to the formal criteria emanating from relevant laws, regulation and agreements applicable to the entity. Now proprietary observation of the general principle governing sound financial management and ethical conduct of public officials. Now significance, what are the significance of corporate compliance management? That companies that go the extra mile with their compliance program lay the foundation for the control environment. Means we have to go to the extra mile, we have to go beyond the certain limit. That is, they are talking about the out of the box thinking. That company that go extra mile with their compliance program lay the foundation for control environment. Okay, so companies with effective compliance management program here are more likely to avoid staff personal penalties, both monetary and imprisonment. Means if they have an effective compliance program, then they are more likely to other stuff, like they don't have to go with any penalty, there should be no imprisonment, monetary and imprisonment. In both the cases they will get benefit. Now companies that embedded positive ethics and effective compliance management program deep within their culture enjoy often healthy returns through employee. They're basically talking about what are the importance. We know that what all are the importance, no? So I'm just reading this, though it is important. There could be a question that what all are we need to write here. That the companies that embed positive ethics and effective compliance management program deep within their culture often enjoy healthy returns through employees customer loyalty. So you can also write here that instead of writing this we can take it that attract employee and customer loyalty and public respect for their brand, means brand image can be improved here, both of which can translate into healthy marketing. Strong market capitalization means strong market capitalization could be formed here. Shareholder returns can also increase here. So safety valve against the intent non-compliance prosecution, it is an important line which we need to write in exam in a very, that is to be sure we need to write here, that is a safety valve against, it creates a safety valve against unintended non-compliance and prosecutions. Okay, so the cost saving by avoiding penalties and minimizing litigations, better brand image and positioning of the ethics, enhance credibility, creditworthiness that only a law-abiding company can command, goodwill among the shareholder investors, recognition as a good corporate citizen. So all we know that we already read this thing in our governance topic. So what is the process of setting up of compliance framework? So first we need to identify of the compliance obligation. Second, we have to prepare a compliance chart. Then there is a historical compliance assessment. First identify, then chart, that assessment. Then fourth, we need to go for the assessment of historical compliance audit. Then fifth, we need to assessment of compliance risk, that what all are the risk associated with such assessment, and also compliance action and reporting comes into the picture. Also the monitoring could be the seventh stage. Okay, so the compliance system and process in a company are dependent mainly on the following factors. What are the nature, geographical domain of its area, size of the company, in good terms of the corporation as well as investment, technology, multiplicity of business activities and manpower employed, jurisdiction in which it operates, whether the companies are listed or not, regulatory authorities in respect of its business operations, nature of the company, whether it's a private, public, also the activities in which it indulge, that we know. So we can write if this is very general stuff. And then there is a consequences they okay, I think now it's fine. Yes, so there's the consequences, what all are the low risk, what all the medium, and what is the impact, and what is the very high, medium, high, very high. So consequences are minor impact which should be possible to be handled at the operational level. So for the operational level which could be managed, we could consider it as a low type of a risk. This could involve such things: minor delay in providing service or achievement of performance targets, minor reduction in system quality, minor dissatisfaction of clients, minor adverse financials. So that could be a low type of a risk. What is a medium and what is the impact of this type of a risk? Impact is very minor breach of accountability requirements. So very how almost certain, it is almost certain that the event or described result will occur. It is actually a moderate type of a risk. So for a medium risk, we have a modern impact which could involve such things like significant delay. There is a significant delay. ठीक है, कुछ काम बोला था और बहुत सिग्निफिकेंट डिले कर दिया उस चीज़ में. प्रोवाइडिंग सर्विसेज और अचीविंग की ऑर्गेनाइजेशनल ऑब्जेक्टिव्स. सो वी आर नॉट प्रोवाइडिंग significant service, so definitely our customer will not be interested. Now here it is a minor breach. So limited dissatisfaction of the client means few customers are not satisfied, exposure to minor criticism or adverse publicity. So there is a minor criticism and minor brand damage or reputation. Moderate adverse financial impact. So it has a moderate adverse financial impact. It is also a moderate breach of accountability requirement, but that will be a risk associated with it. It is very high. Okay, so when we go for a high risk, it is results will occur high basically. If अगर regular basis पे ऐसा चलेगा तो high रहेगा इस चीज़ का concern. Then high risk में we have a major impact which could involve such things as major delay in providing services or achieving key objectives. Said that there is a major delay, significant dissatisfaction of client, and exposure to significant criticism and moderate adverse publicity. Moderate damage to reputation means there has to be there is actually a moderate damage. हर कोई उस कंपनी के बारे में it's not they're not talking so good. And significant adverse financial impact, breaches of contractual and legislative obligations, major breach of accountability requirement, and the impact is very extreme. And there is a major breach of accountability requirement. Now very high may if you go, then there is an extreme impact of the risk occur, means the impact of it is very extreme. The organization would not be able to effectively perform core activities, means organization is not able to perform the core activities. It could involve such things as a critical business failure, extensive loss of clients, exposure to extensive criticism and adverse publicity, extensive damage to reputation, and a major adverse financial impact, extensive breach of contractual or legislative obligations, extensive breach of accountability requirements, and the impact of it is very high. So now we'll discuss about the question that all are. So discuss the methodology which could be adopted for assessing compliance mechanism of the company. What all are the methodology which can be adopted here? Okay. Now what all are the what we can write here, that we can segregate our compliance into low, medium, high, very high. So all these things which could be right here. A strong compliance training and education program reinforces company compliance culture. Strong compliance training and education program reinforces company compliance culture. Yes, कंपनी का कंप्लाइंस कल्चर सिग्निफिकेंटली इम्प्रूव हो जाएगा, कंपनी काफ़ी सारी चीज़ों में अच्छा परफॉर्म करने लगेगी, कंपनी का बिजनेस शूटअप हो जाएगा, कंपनी की इमेज बढ़ जाएगी, कंपनी के पर्सनस काफ़ी ज़्यादा लॉयल रहेंगे, तो ऑटोमेटिकली इट हेल्प्स द कंपनी टू अचीव इट्स ऑब्जेक्टिव. वी कैन राइट दैट. नाउ short note of compliance risk. Compliance risk is basically risk of non-compliance. Compliance program. So what all are the things that comes under the compliance program? That the reporting, monitoring, assessment. Now corporate compliance management. How do we can manage such risk? Risk of non-compliance. So all the thing we can write. Apparent, adequate, and absolute risk. Apparent, we know, just to we are showing, and that is we are doing through the letter, and here letter and spirits are involved. Now the state government of Maharashtra has issued for tender for developing compliance. ABC was successful bidder showing lowest bid. The compliance solution provider. What all are the approaches to be adopted? So we can write that we can segregate this thing and approaches. Here is the approaches. Process we can write here. So these all are the approaches. What explain the content of compliance chart? So what is the content of compliance chart? Compliance का पूरा चार्ट बनाना है, मैनेजमेंट प्रोसेस सारी चीज़ें उसमें लिखनी है. Like similarly this that आइडेंटिफाई करेंगे कंपनी का, रिस्क असेस करेंगे. Okay, then compliance audit is not a fault finding exercise. Yes, it is not a fault finding exercise, rather it is doing, rather it is it is not a fault finding exercise. It is basically we are not finding fault here, we are actually creating an environment through which any default could not be occurred. So the compliance framework consists of three key components: the compliance chart, compliance advisory, and compliance scorecard. There is a scorecard also in which we can analyze the performance. Now in the business organization, a clear description of primary, secondary compliance ownership is also very important. Define the role of the various level of the management for compliance ownership. So here we can write about the operational level, about the functional level, about the management level. So all these. What is this? How is the cyclical reporting different from incident reporting? Cyclical reporting different from incident reporting. There is to be an incident reporting when incident has occurred and we are reporting about this thing, and there is cyclical reporting in which there is a periodicity. There is like in every 3 months we have to report and we have to prepare a report, and there when incident reporting occurs when there is an incident happened and we need to report such. Now explain the role of the board in compliance management. Yes, board actually, what board will do? Board actually do make the policies and procedure which a company needs to adopt, and according to which a company needs to run its business, and all it applicable to all the functions and all the levels of the organization. Okay, how CS should help the board in institutional effective compliance management system. So we could write that CS has a role of identify, assessment, and CS has a role of identify the what all of the laws are applicable to the company, also risk assessment, also the compliance risk mitigation, and compliance monitoring, and at the last compliance report. Chapter first over.